The little girl stared at the female CEO, then froze. Her tiny hands started shaking because the woman standing in front of her had the exact same tattoo as her father. Not similar, exactly the same dot, and when the CEO tried to walk away, the little girl grabbed her wrist. Wait. Her voice trembled. My dad has a tattoo just like yours. The entire charity hall went silent. Even the piano music stopped. The female CEO slowly looked down at the tiny hand, still gripping her wrist tightly. Then her face turned pale, because the tattoo hidden under her sleeve was something nobody should have recognized. Nobody. Especially not a child. 3 hours earlier, CEO Evelyn Carter arrived at the charity gala, surrounded by flashing cameras. Luxury heels. Cold. Expression. Perfect image. The media called her the Ice Queen of New York, $1 billion company. No husband. No family. No weakness. At least that's what everyone believed. Then she noticed the little girl sitting alone near the back wall, drawing something over and over on a piece of paper. Not eating. Not smiling. Just drawing. Again. And again. Evelyn ignored hundreds of important guests, but somehow she couldn't stop looking at the child. Something felt strange or familiar. Then the host suddenly announced, and now the children will present drawings of the person they missed the most. One by one, kids walked onto the stage. Mothers. Brothers. Dogs. Grandparents. Then it was the little girl's turn. Tiny shoes. Oversized sweater. Nervous eyes. My name is Mia. She lifted her drawing with trembling hands. And this is my daddy. The room smiled politely. Until Evelyn saw the picture and nearly dropped her champagne glass. Because in the drawing was a man with the exact same tattoo, a black raven, burned onto his wrist, the same tattoo Evelyn had hidden for 15 years. Suddenly flash. A memory slammed into her mind. Rain. Blood. A man screaming, and someone yelling, "Run!" Evelyn stumbled backward. Her assistant rushed toward her. "Ma'am, are you okay?" But Evelyn couldn't breathe, because there was only one other person in the world with that tattoo besides her. Only one. And he died 15 years ago. At least that's what she had been told. Back in the present, Neil looked directly into Evelyn's eyes. "My daddy told me if I ever saw this tattoo," she pointed at Evelyn's wrist, "I should trust you." Evelyn's heart nearly stopped. "How do you know that symbol?" she whispered. The little girl slowly opened her old backpack. Carefully. Gently. Then pulled out an old photograph. The second Evelyn saw it, her knees almost gave out, because the man holding baby Mia in the picture was the man Evelyn once loved, the man she watched disappear in a fire, the man declared dead. And written at the bottom of the photo were 5 chilling words: "Find Evelyn before they do." Evelyn couldn't move. Her eyes stayed locked on the photograph. The man smiling at the camera was Daniel. The man she buried in her memories 15 years ago. The man she thought was dead. But there was something worse. Much worse. In the photo, Daniel looked older. Not like the man from 15 years ago. This photo was recent. Very recent. Which meant only one thing. Daniel had been alive this entire time. "Mia." Evelyn's voice cracked. "Where is your father?" The little girl lowered her head. "He told me not to tell anyone, please." Evelyn knelt in front of her, for the first time in years. The powerful CEO looked desperate. "Is he alive?" Before Mia could answer, a loud crash echoed through the ballroom. Smash. Everyone screamed. A giant chandelier exploded onto the floor. Glass flew everywhere. The lights instantly went out. Darkness swallowed the room. Then bang. A gunshot. People panicked, running, crying, shouting. Evelyn grabbed Mia immediately. Stay close to me. Her bodyguards rushed forward. Ma'am, we need to leave now. But Evelyn suddenly froze again, because across the dark room, she saw someone standing near the emergency exit. Tall figure, black coat, and on his wrist, the raven tattoo. Her heart nearly exploded. Daniel. The figure disappeared. 10 minutes later, police surrounded the building. Reporters screamed outside. Was this an assassination attempt? Did someone target CEO Evelyn Carter? But Evelyn ignored all of them because Mia was gone. Vanished. 1 second beside her, gone the next. Panic hit Evelyn harder than the attack itself. Find the little girl. Her security team searched everywhere. Bathrooms, kitchen, parking garage, nothing. Then Evelyn received a text message from an unknown number. One sentence. If you want the girl alive, come alone. Evelyn's blood ran cold. Another message arrived instantly. And this time, it included a photo. Mia sitting in the back of a van. Crying. Terrified. And beside her was a man wearing black gloves. The photo zoomed in, accidentally on his wrist. The raven tattoo. Evelyn stopped breathing because she recognized that hand immediately. Not Daniel's. Someone else's. Someone she feared even more. Her older brother. Marcus Carter. The man officially declared dead 10 years ago. The man who once told her, if Daniel ever betrays us, I'll kill him myself. Suddenly a horrifying thought hit Evelyn. What if Daniel never abandoned her? What if he was hiding from Marcus this whole time? And what if Mia was actually her daughter? Evelyn jumped into her car. Rain hammered the windshield. Her hands shook violently on the steering wheel. Then her phone rang. Unknown caller. She answered instantly. Where's Mia? Heavy breathing filled the line. Then, a familiar male voice whispered, Evelyn. Her entire body froze, because after 15 years, she still recognized his voice. Immediately. Daniel was alive. And he sounded terrified. Don't trust anyone, he whispered. Not even your own family. Then, the call suddenly cut off. At the exact same moment, a black SUV appeared behind Evelyn's car, headlights blazing, speeding straight toward her. The black SUV slammed into Evelyn's car. Crash. Metal twisted, glass exploded everywhere. Her car spun across the rain-soaked highway. Then silence. Smoke filled the air. Evelyn's vision blurred. Blood ran down her forehead. But she forced herself to move, because only one thought mattered. Now. Mia. She grabbed her phone. With shaking hands. No signal. Then suddenly, tap. Tap. Someone was walking toward the wrecked car. Slowly. Evelyn looked up through the cracked windshield. And her heart stopped. Daniel. Alive. Standing in the rain. Older. Bearded. Exhausted. But alive. Daniel. She whispered. He opened the car door instantly. Hurry. He pulled her out seconds before boom. The car exploded behind them. Evelyn screamed. Daniel shielded her with his body as fire lit up the night sky. For a moment, neither of them spoke. 15 years of pain. Questions. Love. All crashing back at once. Then Evelyn hit him hard. You let me believe you were dead. Tears streamed down her face. I buried you in my heart for 15 years. Daniel's eyes filled with guilt. I had no choice. No choice. They would have killed you too. Before Evelyn could answer, a helicopter suddenly appeared overhead. Searchlights flooded the highway. Daniel's face turned pale. They found us. He grabbed her hand and ran into the forest beside the road. Rain poured harder. Branches scratched their skin. Behind them, voices shouted, they're heading north. Move. Evelyn struggled to breathe. Where's Mia? Daniel looked devastated. She was never supposed to get involved. What does that mean? Daniel stopped running. Then finally said the words that shattered Evelyn completely. Mia is your daughter. Everything went silent. Even the storm felt distant. Evelyn stared at him in horror. No, you were pregnant the night of the fire. Evelyn's knees nearly collapsed. Daniel held her before she fell. I tried to come back, he whispered. But Marcus found out. Double quotes Marcus. Her brother, the man she trusted most. He wanted control of your company. Daniel continued. And when he learned about Mia, he saw her as a threat. Evelyn's entire world fell apart. For 15 years, her own brother had lied to her, manipulated her, destroyed her life, and hidden her child. Suddenly click. Daniel froze. A gun was pointed at his head. Marcus stepped out from the shadows, slowly, clapping. Well, he smiled coldly. Family reunions are always so emotional. Evelyn's face turned white. Marcus looked exactly the same. Same sharp suit, same terrifying calm smile. You should have stayed dead. Daniel. Then Mia's voice cried out from behind him. Daddy. Evelyn turned and saw Mia tied inside a black van. Crying. Terrified. Let her go. Evelyn screamed. Marcus laughed softly. You still don't understand, do you? He pointed the gun at Mia. That little girl is the key to everything. Daniel stepped forward instantly. Take me instead. Marcus smirked. That's the problem, brother. He slowly cocked the gun. I'm tired of leaving survivors. Evelyn's heart pounded violently. Mia was screaming. Daniel moved closer. One wrong move, and someone would die. Then suddenly Mia shouted, Look out. Bang. A gunshot echoed through the forest. Marcus's eyes widened. Then blood slowly spread across his chest. Everyone froze. Marcus looked down in shock. Behind him, Evelyn was holding the gun with trembling hands. For the first time in her life, she had pulled the trigger. Marcus collapsed onto the wet ground. Silence. Only rain remained. Mia broke free and ran straight into Evelyn's arms. Mom. Evelyn completely shattered. She hugged Mia tightly while crying uncontrollably. Daniel wrapped his arms around both of them. And for the first time in 15 years, they were finally together. But as police sirens echoed in the distance, Daniel suddenly looked terrified again. Because lying beside Marcus's body was a phone flashing with one final message. Target eliminated. Move to phase 2. Daniel's face went pale, because Marcus had never been the real enemy. Rain poured over the forest. Police sirens grew louder, but Evelyn couldn't hear anything anymore. She only held Mia tighter. As if letting go would make her disappear again. Mom. Mia's tiny voice broke her completely. Evelyn started crying harder. For 15 years, she thought she had lost everything, but her daughter had been alive the whole time, right in this world. Waiting for her. Daniel slowly knelt beside them. His eyes were filled with tears. Too. I'm sorry, he whispered. I tried to protect both of you. Evelyn looked at him. Really looked at him. The scars on his face, the exhaustion in his eyes, the pain he carried alone for years, and suddenly, her anger disappeared because she realized something. He suffered to. Hours later, the storm finally ended. Marcus's crimes shocked the entire country. Secret accounts, illegal deals. Fake death records. Everything was exposed, including the truth about Daniel. He was never a criminal. Marcus framed him to take control of Evelyn's company. And when Daniel discovered the truth, Marcus tried to erase him forever. but Daniel survived. Hidden. Running. Protecting Mia from the shadows for years. Waiting for the day he could safely return. 3 months later, New York looked different in spring. Warmer. Softer. And for the first time in years, Evelyn smiled genuinely. No cameras. No cold expression. No lonely penthouse. Just peace. Inside a quiet lakeside house, Mia ran barefoot across the wooden dock laughing. "Dad, hurry up." Daniel chased after her while pretending to lose. Mia giggled so hard she almost fell into the water. Evelyn watched from the porch. Coffee in her hands, sunlight touching her face. For years, she built a $1 billion empire, but none of it ever made her happy. This did. A real family, a real home. Daniel walked back toward her. Older. Still carrying scars, but finally free. He sat beside her, quietly. For a moment, neither spoke. Then Evelyn leaned her head onto his shoulder. "You know," she whispered softly, "I hated you for a very long time." Daniel smiled sadly. "I know, but I never stopped loving you." Daniel closed his eyes, like hearing those words healed something broken inside him. Then, Mia suddenly appeared between them, holding crayons. "I drew us." She proudly showed the picture. 3 people holding hands beside a lake. And above them, a small black raven flying into the sky. But this time, the raven didn't look dark anymore. It looked free. Daniel smiled. Evelyn smiled. And Mia wrapped her tiny arms around both of them. Together. Finally. A family. That night, after Mia fell asleep, Evelyn quietly entered her daughter's room. Moonlight filled the space. Softly. She brushed Mia's curly hair away from her face, then noticed something under the pillow, a folded piece of paper. Evelyn slowly opened it. It was one of Mia's drawings, but this one was different. It showed Evelyn. Daniel. Mia. And beside them, one sentence written in childish handwriting. "I knew you would find me." Evelyn broke into tears again, but this time, they were happy tears.